Previously on Gio's Jesus Story.
I brought the chocolate and then I arrived into that place. And what I found was something amazing. I felt this pure atmosphere. It was unlike any other. Today is the day. Today is the day. Today is the day. Today is, alright, let's just get to it. So, today is going to be a very special episode because this is the one that separates the pre and the post. Because in this episode, what I'm going to unfold to you is what this is, what this really is. And so let me just start off where I left off. So grade 8 was the last year of my summer classes, but then at the same time, it was the worst. The reason because ginpaasa ko parents ko, assuring them that, you know what, we're gonna have vacations. Mabakasyon taya, promisahon na kamo nga mapasar ko, nga obrahon ko ang best ko. Of course, I'm exaggerating today, but you know what I mean. That feeling of like, I'm assuring you that I'm gonna pass, I'm not gonna have summer classes. And they count my word on that. They held on to that word. Ang ginambal ko sila, knowing that nga ang, past semesters may failure ko, kung dugo akong grade. Kung hindi ka na failure, 75, just what I told you in the first episode, right? But this wasn't the blue card. This is the white card. Now, the white card is the main deal. The white card, this is the beast. Because it records your semester's final grade. And you will know that if you lose and you fail one, you only have 2/3 of the grading of the semester or the school year left to make bawi. And it's hard to make bawi, I tell you. It's hard to make bawi. Yeah. So, news game ang ginambalan ko sa teacher ko nga, G, you didn't pass. You didn't make the cut. And you know what that means? I'm not gonna give you any extra project for you to pass so that you can enjoy your vacation. This needs for you to go through summer classes. Oh man, the moment ginambay yun sa akin, it's like my whole dream of having a vacation, my whole dream of freedom has been shattered. As I heard that news, I was so devastated. Totally. So, gankigan ko sa parents ko, knowing that nga, nag-reserve na sila sa mga vacation places, nag-reserve na sila expenses, and they even paid money. They gave money already. And so, it was really a disappointment at that time. Grabe, ganyan, devastating. It was so, oh my gosh. I was disappointed in myself, and I was disappointed at the news. It was so horrible. But then later on, nagbakasyon na kami, kaya nag-negotiate si Papa. Negotiation skills. Yeah. And, but afterwards, nagbalik ako sa Bacolod. Like, compared to my other cousins and my brothers, they enjoyed their vacation with our cousins, and they went to places. Ako yan, kundi sa Bacolod nga to. Amo na siya. So, I'm here studying, and to cut my summer class story short, it was the last weekend before my final exams, and I'm gonna be free from my sufferings. As I told you, my experience in summer classes, it was just like, as I explained, as I described it, it was hell on earth. Yeah, it was really hard. It was really suffering for me. Anyways, it was the last weekend before the final exams. And gin-invite ko ni Papa since si Papa raman sa Bacolod kay tungod nga he needs to go home for work. And so kami duwa bilin sa Bacolod. But ara sa retreat place at that time sang weekend, and he invited me to go to that retreat place. And he was already there, you know. So he invited me, and the Friday, that day, I went to Libertad after my classes so that I could go to this minibus station. It was actually one of my first time to go to this minibus station. You know, you just ride this half jeep, half bus kind of vehicle so that you could go to farther places from Bacolod. Right? And so, as I was going out of my summer classes, of my class, ang tita sa church namo nagtawag nga madala ko kuno chocolate. Chocolate ko no para karon. So, you know, I brought some chocolate, some Cadbury chocolate, and I did bring that. And so, you know, I brought this chocolate while going to the place, the retreat place, with this half jeepney, half bus vehicle going there. And so, as I arrived, it was really a good place, you know, like mountainy place, breezy, outdoorsy, all this nature. Surrounding is very beautiful, you know, you gotta go there. And, you know, as I've arrived, though I've had this sense of awkwardness, Balaw. It was really awkward kay tungod niya. You know, just to give you context, I was actually serving at church at that time. I was actually playing guitars at church at that time. It was just nga wala gid ko bala kahalubilo or kami ko rapport with my other young people, church friends sa amo tong time. And you know, it was awkward. I would usually feel out of place. Hindi pa ko gani mayo ka vibes bala ang mga young people, mates ko to. Miyara pa mga bago na mga young people from other places like Iloilo, you know, like I was so, okay, yeah, what I'm gonna do. Or since this is a retreat session, then araw kami sa retreat place and, you know, trying to listen what's going on with the retreat, what's being spoken at the retreat. And the time nga gabi na, tapos na kami kaon na mo na, sila ya ara to sa retreat nga house, sa retreat nga hall, kami yan nagpagwa kami. Because we had our own fellowship for young people, and it was just beautiful. The place in where we are, it was just beautiful. Now, looking at the sky, you can see the cosmos, the stars, and looking around, there's trees all around us, and the wind is just blowing through. It's just so breezy ka. Boom now. Presko na. It was so good. And as we went outside, we were preparing a bonfire at our center, and we would gather at the center of the bonfire. And it was, oh man, this is the dream fellowship. You know what I mean? This is the dream fellowship you would want, just to talk about life, to talk about interests. And so, amo to, and here. And gina-distribute na dayon mga mga marshmallow, danay marshmallow, and then ang graham. Tapos, you know where I'm going. You know, ginasugban ng marshmallow. Tapos, i-sandwich na nabon dayon ang melted marshmallows. And you know what comes in? You know what's being distributed as well? The chocolate that I brought. Oh man, I contributed to this fellowship because of the chocolate that I brought. So dara pa lang, syempre may feeling na ko nga, you know, I'm part of this because I brought something. Anyways, samo to. We were eating our s'mores, you know, dipping our s'mores into the chocolate sauce, and we were talking about life. We were talking about our interests, you know, under the beautiful sky we have and the bonfire in front of us, and we were just talking about really, you know, whatever comes out of the blue. And it was no ordinary fellowship. It was no ordinary conversation because at that time I felt nga, this is very interesting. I feel nga I'm not out of place anymore. I'm not excluded. In fact, I feel included. I feel that I belong. I feel that there's nothing really wrong with my personality and I'm actually being appreciated. They're actually listening to my story. Don't get me wrong, like sa school, it's more of like sadya, bonding, but seldom that I've felt and experienced na, you know what? Your personality, I love it. I love your company. No, I haven't felt that in school. Like, really, nga do ka clear yun, but then it was clear. They wanted my company there. And so, as the fellowship ended, ubos na ng mga s'mores naman, a manong, a kuya from the Bonfire Fellowship invited me to camp. And I was so excited because, like, sa fellowship lang naman, pumped up na ko, no? And he invited me to camp. And he told me that it's gonna be fun. Listen, sa kay Papa mo, kay Sadjakin, it's gonna be the vacation of your life. Man. It's gonna change your life. Oh, man. And so I had my expectations kay knowing nga ako nga manong the past year also went to camp. So he really had fun. And he actually returned to the house with dirty clothes. So, that's interesting. A church Christian camp, you return clothes that are very dirty. I didn't expect that. So I had expectations. Let me just show you ang ako niya expectations versus reality. So I did went to camp. And before I went to camp, I had my own expectations. Now, imagine, if you haven't been to Christian camp before, and you, of course, have your own expectations, it would be, personally, this would be my expectations. Pictures. But the reality is, yes, that happened. That happened in camp. I tell you, that really happened. I didn't get this video from a different place or from a school activity where we're all dancing. That happened in camp, I tell you. That happened in camp. And so sadya, okay, napasubtan ako. I'm gonna go to camp. This is gonna be my first time, 2014 SEP camp. Oh man, this is gonna be fun, I'm pumped up. So first day pa lang, before we went to the campsite, because like, ang campsite is 4 to 5 hour drive and the place we're living in, this is Negros Occidental, but the campsite is gonna be in Negros Oriental, so it's gonna be a long drive. So aga pa lang, pwesto na kami sa church hub, and we were all getting ready to go to the campsite. And we were in one van, hindi kami separated. One van kami tipon-tipon. And it was just so fun. We brought our own snacks. We brought our own chicheria. And it was really fun, The fellowship, kasi nadyan lang kami kadlawan. The whole, of course, like sleeping in the middle of it, but like laughing, just conversing and interacting with one another. And it's so fun. Pakadto pa lang. And so the first day, the time that we arrived at the campsite, kami-kami lang. Kaya wala pa nag-arrive mga staff, mga iba yung campers from different places. Kaya different places. From Dumaguete, from Cebu. It's a lot. From Aklan. Basically, the whole Visayas. It's a Visayas camp. Kami pa lang we turned on the music. And to give you context, I was really, kung sa hiligay ng tinaga, kabalan. Ako siyang una. And by that, I mean, I was really loud. I was really expressive, especially nga, gina-encourage ko nga sa camp, give your all out, hindi ka maghuya-huya. Oh man, I did that. So as I arrived, kami pa lang asaw-saw, kami libot-libot, kami kanta-kanta, whatever I did there. But as soon nga na nag-arrive ng mga campers, syempre naghipas. Hipos ko, and then, like everyone is preparing already for the setup. And the time came na doka camp proper na. We're all going to our different tables because these tables are assigned to different dorms. So the camp setup is that the girls and boys are separated. So there are 4 dorms for the girls, there are 4 dorms for the boys as well. So, sa first day, you go to your assigned table and that's where you will first meet your co-campers and then your counselors. So, at first, ako nagkadun ako sa table. I was 2B back then. That was my first year, 2B. That was my dorm. So, 2B, kadto ko sa table. And I saw my counselor. It was the assistant counselor. You know, like, need not to be shy. Introduce yourself. That's the protocol. So I did introduce myself. Hi, I'm Angelo. Ano pala yung pangalan? You know, and we got the conversation going and it was good. You know, there was a little bit of shyness, pero I was game on introducing myself and knowing my co-campers. And wala pa co-campers ko tugali. It was just my assistant counselor. And as my co-campers arrived, at first we were really talking to each other. But then, in the middle of it, syempre, may mga awkward pauses. You know, because this is from different places and you really don't know each other and what do you expect. As in, mayara lang yung mga times yung gahipos-hipos. It's like, have you experienced a silence so dead? Like, you know, there's someone in front of you, but you can't. You're just so shy. You can't spark a conversation. But that's the reality of the first day. That's the reality of the first day. But then, we introduced ourselves. We went to our dorm. And it was really fun because, you know, like we were just breaking the ice. And this is what the first thing that broke my expectation here is that before the proper worship gathering, you know, we would have worship gatherings. That was normal in my expectations. Each dorm has to present their chant. There is a dorm chant to identify you as 2B, as 1B, as 1G. And I'm like, what? I thought we were going to read our Bible soon. I thought we were going to know more about God. What are we doing here, doing our chants? Like, 2B, 2B, 2. You know, something like this chants. And we were doing it. You know, at first, very awkward. Palak-palak pa mga co-campers kay wala sila na-expect nga muni. Ako okay, since this is actually gina-prepare na naman, so gamean ko. Bibo-bibo lang. So the first day, it was kind of awkward because, you know, I didn't expect this. But then we would do this every day. Basically, ang first day, the highlight was that you're gonna meet new people and you would want to know who they are. And first day pa lang, I just felt wow, I love this. At the same time, I'm stepping out of my comfort zone. And people are not bothered by it. Because sometimes we are so afraid of stepping out because people might be offended or people might react differently. Weirdness or something like that. But no, it didn't happen to me. So second day, you know, in the whole day, there was a set of activities daan. And so there were, well, actually, it really broke my expectation to the core because the second day was the full day nga mayroon kami activities. And, you know, at first, mayroon mga Christian living. So, okay pa lang, no? Okay pa lang. What a Christian camp should look like. So, mayroon mga worship times, mga na. And, keyboard lang ko nga mayroon mga basketball, may mga volleyball, may mga saot-saot. I mean, not only any dance, there was hip-hop. Know this, there was ballroom dancing. There was ballroom. You know what I mean? Ballroom dancing. And, you know, it was really awkward at that time. I wasn't really that experienced in interacting with the other sex, with the girls, with the women. As in, I was so awkward in interacting with the other sex. You know, like, I've always been that guy nga barkada ko pero may lalaki. You know, like, sige lang, come on, let's do this. Pero once nga mag-interact ako sa baba, I need to compose myself. I need to prepare a set of questions just to get to know them. So, yeah, that happened and it really broke my expectation. So sad. Anyways, afterwards, ang lunch pagid. You know, at first, you would do well because mag-lunch ka mo, kamo-kamo lang magkador. Kung 1B lang upod mo sa lunch table. But then afterwards, kung okay na ka mo as a dorm, ma-mix ka muna with the other dorms. Example, we were 2B and we mixed with 2G. And you know how I was so awkward in acting with girls, right? And so I really tried. Pero one of the first several minutes, you know that dead silence is there. Oh man, we were just thank God for food. You know, like you would just thank God for food because that was the distractor. You were just eating food, trying to avoid this eye contact, trying to avoid any kind of conversation that would lead into awkwardness. But you're trapped because sooner or later, you know that you need to do this, or else you will face an hour of dead silence, which you don't want. No. But yeah, I did spark conversation. And you know, sadya kay siyempre, mayroon times na, you know, like most of them are Bisaya brothers and sisters, no? And the icebreaker would always be like, so, ano ang later? Ano ba yung later sa Bisaya? Later. Ano, sa Amua, ang later is unya. Pero ang now sa Amua is karon. Oh, that's right. In our dialect, later is karon, but now is subong. So that is the translations of. Okay, so we were talking. That would always be the icebreaker. We would always translate. Oh, so that's amo na galing. So that would always happen in every. I will tell you most of the lunch dates. I tell you, and it was really amazing. And the second day, the highlight was pretty much exposing, not really exposing, but sharing, opening up your life, like really your life, your issues, your struggles to your dorm mates. And it was usually confidential. Mostly, dapat lang confidential. Because you're opening up your life. Like not only the surface of it, but the depth of it. What you felt, what you're feeling about your life right now, what you're going through in your life right now. And you know, I wasn't really experienced in opening up my emotions. But I tried, I did open up. But I was hearing stories from my co-campers, and you know, they were really opening up na grabe sa kabuhi nila. You would see that, oh man, their life situation is really that hard, that difficult, that really emotionally burdensome. You know, I'm as well, you know, speaking about my life, and I felt this first time experience of really hearing about the rawness of the life of people, and it led me to want to hear more of their lives, want to know more, because it's actually very interesting to know of a person's life, because all the time I was learning about people's interests, people's passion, but I never experienced going into the depth of the soul of a person to know more about them. Oh man, it led me to a desire that was really good. That was really relationship. That was really trust. That was the second day. I thought second day. And I already felt, these people trust me. Just by that activity, these people trust me. So it was really good. So Wednesday, we got a full lot of activities with all the expectation breaking activities, you know. And I was really having fun. I was really loving the company and the company they're giving me as well. And the highlight on the third day was the encounter night. Oh man, let me just tell you this. The encounter night was really amazing. I want to encounter you today, since this is encounter night, you know. And so I went to the first station, and the station was